You are listening to That's Life, a One Love Media production.
Hey everyone, great to see all your lovely faces. Although, speaking of faces, I hope they're all smiling because I'm really counting on your approval right now. I'm kidding, obviously. But really, isn't it funny how we're all a little obsessed with approval? I mean, when did we start living our lives like we're auditioning for a reality show? America's Next Top People Pleaser, anyone? You walk into a room and the first thing you think is, okay, how can I ensure all of these people like me? It's like our thoughts go straight to the red carpet. What outfit screams, I'm cool, but also super relatable? And let's talk about social media. You post a picture and within minutes you're like, okay, let's see. Grandma liked it. My cousin who thinks avocado toast is a food group liked it. My frenemies? Nah, not yet. So I'm gonna have to start crafting a strategy. Maybe I should post a picture of my cat. Everyone loves cats, right? You know, I've realized that seeking approval is a lot like attending a family reunion. You're in a big room with people who love you, but half of them are still trying to figure out if they should mention that awkward phase you went through in middle school, lovingly calling it the year of the bowl cut. And suddenly, you're 12 again, and your self-esteem is hanging on by a thread. You're at the family dinner and secretly terrified of the, so when are you getting married? question. As if being single is an Olympic sport and you've just failed to win a medal. And then there's your uncle. You know the one. He's like, so, what do you do again? You take a breath and say, well, I'm a podcaster. And he looks at you like you just told him you trained squirrels to perform Shakespeare. And let's be honest, that's probably way cooler than his job. But he goes ahead and says, you know, back in my day, we had jobs with titles that made sense. Dude, your job involves more flannel shirts than logic. Let's not get into it. But seriously, all that pressure to gain everyone's approval, it's exhausting. I mean, do we really think we can please everyone? I'm going to tell you right now, puppies can't please everyone, and they're puppies. Why on earth do we think we can please everyone? Sooner or later, you realize life is too short to worry about the opinions of that one guy who sneezes twice at the same time. What does he even know? But here's the thing. When you finally let it go, when you stop seeking approval, oh, it is liberating. Your inner voice starts saying, why am I wasting this beautiful life asking for permission to be me? Suddenly, instead of worrying about the side eye from Aunt Linda at Thanksgiving, you're throwing your hands in the air saying, you don't like my cranberry casserole? Too bad, that's my signature dish now. So today, let's find that inner freedom. The next time you stress about someone's opinion, just remember, you don't need to win a popularity contest. Just be yourself. Because the truth is, the right people will love you for your quirks and imperfections. Even the bowl cuts. Thank you all. You have been amazing. Please stick around for this week's episode of That's Life, where, you guessed it, The topic is getting rid of the need for approval. Hey everyone, welcome back to That's Life. I'm your host, Kyle Fields, and today we're tackling something that's been messing with people since the dawn of time. The need for approval. Now, I don't know about you, but I was practically born a people pleaser. If there is a gold medal for worrying about what other people think, I'd have at least 3 by now, and I'd definitely use them to create a glittering trophy for most likely to apologize for existing. Just picture me on podium, all decked out with medals, trying to explain why my life motto is, sorry to bother you. But here's the problem. Living for approval means dying under the weight of expectations. And let's be real. Half the people we're trying to impress don't even know what they're doing either. Seriously, have you seen the number of people who step on the wrong side of the escalator? Yeah. I'd trust their opinion just as much as I'd trust a cat to watch a dog's bowl of food. So today, we're breaking down why we're wired to seek approval. Because guess what? It's not your fault, and I'll give you that one. Also, we will talk about what the Bible says about living for people versus living for God. And finally, go over some real steps to finally stop caring about what doesn't matter and start living for what does. So, if you've ever caught yourself stressing over someone else's opinion, biting your tongue to keep the peace, or feeling like you have to be liked to be worthy, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. All right, let's start with the science, shall we? Humans are hardwired to want approval. Back in the caveman days, if your tribe didn't like you, you were pretty much out of luck. No food, no shelter, and no one to save you when the saber-toothed tiger rolled up to crash your dinner party. Imagine hosting a lovely, fire-cooked meal only to find yourself as the main course. And just for the record, those prehistoric saber-tooths didn't give a thumbs up for your effort. So, yeah, your brain learned early on that rejection equals danger. Fast forward to today. And while we don't have to worry about literal tigers, we still panic at the thought of people not liking us. We've traded in our rusty spears for social media likes, which, if you think about it, is also a little dangerous. Especially if you have an embarrassing amount of pictures of your dinner on IG. Yeah, I'm talking to you guys. But here's the thing. No one's universally liked. I mean, even puppies have haters. Think about that. Someone out there in the world, some evil degenerate, has looked at a golden retriever puppy and thought, nah, that ain't for me. For the record, those people should burn in hell. But if puppies can't win everyone over, what makes us think we can't? We're all just doing our best in a society that's tougher than a toddler getting upset about having broccoli on their plate. Now, let's get into the spiritual side of this, because if there's one thing God never said, it's make sure everyone likes you before you do what I called you to do. Can you imagine God sitting up there checking Twitter followers before giving you a purpose? Oh, sorry, Kyle. You only have 100 followers. Clearly, you ain't ready for this mission. Here's what the Bible actually says. Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ. That right there, folks, is called a divine mic drop. Or how about Proverbs chapter 29, verse 25? The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe. Translation: worrying about what others think is about as useful as an umbrella in a hurricane. Or to throw it back for you older folks, as useless as a screen door on a submarine. You're welcome, old folks. Or how about Colossians chapter 3, verse 23? Whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men. You know what that means? God doesn't care if you're the best in the grade. Just wants you to do your best. Remember Jesus himself? Not everybody liked him. He was literally perfect. And even people found reasons to judge him. If people judge Jesus, they're definitely judging us. The real question is, does it even matter? The answer is it usually doesn't. All right, now that we know approval seeking is normal but not necessary, let's actually break down how to free from it. Number 1, accept that not everyone will like you, and that's okay. Think about your favorite artist, actor, or public figure, or podcast host. Me. You love them, right? Well, I promise you, someone else can't stand me. Them. I meant them, not me. Remember that time you convinced your friend to listen to Bop? And they were like, I think I'll pass. Yeah, it's like that. It's the same for you. You're not for everyone, and everyone is not for you, and that is okay. Number 2, ask yourself, whose opinion actually matters? If you're about to change something about yourself, pause and ask, would this make me happier, or just make them happier? If the change is all about them, then it's probably best you run. Or, would this matter in 5 years? Unless you work in beauty trends, the answer is probably no. Or, am I trying to impress someone who wouldn't even show up if I needed help? If they wouldn't lend you a pencil, I'm not lending them my happiness. Number 3, live for purpose, not applause. You weren't here to make everyone happy. You were put here to make an impact, and impacts don't always look pretty. Sometimes people will misunderstand you. Sometimes people will dislike you for no real reason. And sometimes you'll have to stand alone. But standing alone with purpose is better than blending in without one. Remember that epic dress you wore to the party that 100% didn't fit in? Yeah, own it. In the end, always choose authenticity over the approval of the crowd. Because, let's face it, you're pretty amazing just as you are. And it's about time you started believing it. Listen, life is too short to waste it on trying to be liked by people who don't even know what they want for themselves. So here's my challenge to you this week. Stop waiting for approval and start living for what actually matters. That's it for today, but join us next week for an episode that's going to be one of the most important ones we've ever done or will ever do. That's suicide awareness, breaking the silence. This will be a deep, honest conversation, and one that needs to be had, and I hope you'll join me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, do you, but do it with love and affection. I'm Kyle Fields, and that's life.